Good afternoon. Welcome in to another edition of Video Chat with your host, Peter Ripley, City Council candidate. In today's edition, I just want to briefly touch on a couple items. Number one, I was glad that Dan Gates has gotten this position of the interimship of the City Council. After Max Mania left the position, I decided to sign up for this position to show my willingness to step up to the plate, show leadership, and also demonstrate my abilities to perform as City Council person. And I'm glad that they didn't select me, because the City Council would have been seen as taking side in this election. So they were right in not selecting yours truly for this position because of that reason. I gave them an example of how I would go about serving on the council by giving an example of my willingness to go out there and talk to the public about an example of waterfront development. Now granted, this came from a question that was raised during the last debate. Granted, my answer to the question about waterfront development was less than stellar, but I took the time to go back, ask the people around me, and ask those around me how we could approach waterfront development for further development for that property for private investors. I did the research. I went ahead and did that. Asked around, and this person came up with a suggestion about holding an art festival down there, so the city can collect rentals during the festival, and then apply those rental fees towards further development. I also passed along the suggestion of the city could build these floats along the waterfront area in that area, so small fishing boats can come in there and sell their products right off the box. Anyway, I went ahead and showed them my status. I went ahead and showed them that. I went ahead and took the effort to come up with a proposal for that, and also the studies of costing, how much would it be for marketing and such. Anyway, I took the time to do that, to show them my way of doing things. So I was glad that Dan Gates got the position. I went up to him and shook his hand and said, "Hey Dan, keep my seat warm for me." Second, on another note, I went to the viewing of the documentary by a Canadian filmmaker entitled "Taking Back Your Power: The Smart Meter Agenda," unveiled by Josh Del Sol this last Saturday evening. It was a real eye-opener for sure. I have to say, you can add this to the list of things I will not support funding, along with the cutting down of the Lincoln Park trees. I will vote against any further funding of installing these smart meters after I saw what I saw on that movie. And I'm going to put a link to that movie on this page so you can see it for yourselves. My opponent was also there at the filming. And anyway, that was interesting. At least he was good enough to show up and see that. Anyway, my position is solid on these two matters, the Lincoln Park and the meters. I will vote against any further funding of the meters. I'll vote against any funding of any kind to chop down the trees at the Lincoln Park. Those are two things you can count on with me. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little chat, and I hope we'll see you again to see you all again next time on Video Chat. Have a nice day.